Hello and welcome to activity 3.1.1, data visualization. What's the point? I'm creating this screen recording to fill in anybody who missed a day of class, missed a lesson, or anybody who wants to review the demonstration we did in class and see the process of executing the steps that are written down in this assignment. So let's go ahead. This project involves a hypothetical scenario where students are doing an experiment, it sounds like in a science class, and they have a test tube filled with an unknown liquid that also is holding a temperature sensor connected to their laptop. And they put this test tube with an unknown liquid into a cup full of ice water. And the cup full of ice water also holds a temperature sensor. So they are going to be recording the temperatures of the ice water and the temperatures of this unknown substance in the test tube, which started out at room temperature. And you'll kind of see as time goes on what their data looks like. If you want to run this video on your own, you'll kind of see what the trends occur on their laptop as they're taking readings of the temperature. An interesting thing happens with these hypothetical students. They had some trouble with their experiment. A few things went wrong. In trial 1, the software setup was incorrect. The lab group only set the sensor up to take a reading for 50 seconds. The data collection stopped before the liquid solidified. So in trial 1, things got cut off and they never made it into the frozen state. In trial 2, the sensor that recorded the temperature of the unknown substance was accidentally unplugged. The group plugged it back in, but was not sure how long it had been unplugged. So in trial 2, they start with everything set up. The sensors were all plugged in, all systems go. And then they accidentally unplugged one of the temperature sensors. So they lost some of their data. And we don't quite know, when you see our data sets, you're going to see we don't quite know which trial matches which data set. So this is one scenario where they got cut off. In trial 2, the scenario is one of the sensors got disconnected in the middle of the experiment. And then they reconnected it, but they're not sure how long it was unplugged for. In trial 3, the sensor for the unknown substance was never plugged in. So in trial 3, there should be basically no temperature data for the unknown substance. In trial 4, something else went wrong. The lab group removed the test tube from the ice bath to check if ice was forming. In doing so, the temperature began to rise. They then put the test tube back in the ice bath, but the sensor stopped recording the data before the substance froze. So they, in their curiosity, they removed their test tube from the ice bath. The temperature began to rise, which is kind of different from all the other scenarios. And then they ended up not having enough time, I think, to get their substance to the frozen point. So that was trial 4. And then in trial 5, the unknown substance was successfully recorded as it froze, so no additional trials were conducted. Oh, finally, in trial 5, everything went right. So in that trial, we will see that the substance got to the frozen state and nothing got unplugged. Everything went smoothly. So what we are going to end up seeing, as you'll see in a moment, is a set of data that reflects all these different trials. And guess what? We're going to be figuring out which data set matches with which trial. So how are we going to go about doing that? It's all in Project Lead the Way. And I'm going to walk you through it as well. So for this video, we're just going to look at steps 1 through 6 here, and we're going to do our initial steps. We're going to get started by opening the link here, which brings us to the Project Lead the Way data file. We can't actually see the data at first. It prompts us to make a copy of this document that Project Lead the Way has protected, which makes sense. So we'll make our own copy of the data. And before I do anything, and you should too, rename it with your own name and whatever will help you to identify the file in your own Google Sheets account. I'm going to call it 3.1.1 mystery substance, and with my name. Great. Okay. So we have already done steps 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to go ahead and peek at the raw data, look at the trials, see if we can figure out, really figure out anything at this point? We see a lot of data. We can kind of see how much do we have. Well, we're going into as many as over 150, over 200. The longest is 279 data points. So definitely a lot of data here. And it looks like, as we would expect, we have data set 5. Seems like the final one. We did hear that there were 5 trials. So we're going to try to make sense of this data by taking this really unformatted, plain, unordered set of data and starting to visualize it and filter it and kind of massage it until it becomes meaningful to us and helps us to identify what is that mystery substance in the test tube anyway. Okay. So as we have looked at our data, we're going to move on to step 5, where we are creating a graph of all of the data. So we are suggested to select all of the data by clicking on the top left corner, like so, right here, right above row 1 to the left of column A. That selects all of the data, and this is true in Excel or Google Sheets, pretty much any spreadsheet. You are then going to choose Insert, Chart, in order to start making a chart. And then this chart editor lets you configure what the chart should look like. So we are going to choose, rather than columns, we're going to choose this smooth line chart. And that's pretty much what we're looking at. We have, as you can see, several series being graphed here. We have some lines are going on for a shorter amount of time, some are longer. And we are going to note, this doesn't really tell us a lot yet. So we have gone ahead and really chosen all of these settings. What is wrong with the series? What do you think is wrong with the series if you take a look? Each of these is a series. So that's a question for you to think about. There's a hint here if you want to follow up on your own. And then click on the chart and delete it using the delete key. Since we're not getting that much information, once you have studied the chart, you can use these 3 dots and choose delete chart in order to remove it, because we're going to move into some other steps next that are going to further explain our data. So that is it for steps 1 through 6. You have created a copy of the data set for yourself, and you've created your first visualization. Oh, I forgot to mention, once you have your data, you should actually take a screenshot of it and put that in your assignment document. Let's just create that chart one more time. We're making the smooth data chart. So if I were doing my assignment, I would take a screenshot of my chart, and the assignment document asks you to paste in each of your charts here. So we're on what I'm calling step 0, all of the data. Could paste that into our table here, and then you're ready to move on to data set 1. We're going to do that in the next video. So now that I have done my screenshot, I'm going to delete my data, delete my chart at least, and we are all set. See you in the next video if you want to continue following this assignment through video instruction. Bye now.